And how's it going, guys? Josh Olufemii here. And one of my best friends and my producer, Chris Simon, is going to tell you why it's so important to have your food situation right when it comes to running a productive set. He's also going to give you a few tips.
I produce a lot of projects. One thing that I could say is a happy crew does great work. And the fastest way to make your crew unhappy is to make them hungry. So when you're on set for 8 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, you gotta make sure that you have enough food for your crew to make sure that they're sustained throughout the entire day. So today we're gonna be talking about some tips for craft services that will really make sure that your crew is happy, fed, and is gonna be able to work 100% for you. So what craft services is basically all the food that you're gonna have on set for your crew. So it kind of comes in two categories. Number one is crafty, which is your crafty table. So that's all the snacks and drinks that you're gonna have during the course of the day. And the second is basically catering, or the main meals that you're gonna have for your crew. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, brunch, it all depends on what time you're shooting, and you gotta make sure that your crew has all the food that they need throughout the course of the day. So here are some tips that I have to make sure that your crafty and food experience is gonna be the best that it could be on set. Number one is make sure your main meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, make sure that they're hot. So you have to break your crew by law every 6 hours. So if you have a 14-hour shoot, you gotta make sure that when they go on break, make sure that their food is ready and make sure that it's hot. So number two, make sure there's tons of snacks and drinks on your crafty table. When you're thinking about snacks, think about things that are, quick. They can go grab, have a quick bite and get back to set. With drinks, make sure that you have water and coffee at a minimum, maybe some sodas, maybe some sparkling waters. Make sure that you have a wide variety of options for your crew and cast to choose from. Number three, make sure you account for allergies. So make sure you're taking things into account like whether they're vegetarian, whether they're lactose intolerant, any types of allergies, whether it's peanut allergies or shellfish. Just make sure that ahead of time you ask each one of the crew members what their allergies are, so that way you can account for everybody. Number four is actually keep it healthy. Having a lot of like cake and dessert and stuff like that on set, that's cool, but you're gonna have people doing a huge sugar crash. I recommend doing things like trail mix, maybe some carrots, hummus, dips. These types of power snacks will kind of allow people to kind of sustain themselves from meal to meal and just kind of keep going at the best that they can. Number five is kind of get brands that people ask for. Coca-Cola is not Pepsi. And those subtle little things where if somebody requests something special and then you can account for that type of care is gonna go a long way with what they're gonna give you on the creative. Number six, make sure that you backstock. This is kind of specific to bottled water. What you wanna do is create kind of a perceived sense of scarcity. So that way if somebody takes a bottled water, they're gonna look at that bottled water, they're gonna tear the label, they're gonna write their name on it, and they're gonna drink the entire thing. I can't count how many times I put out all the bottled water at one time. People take a sip, put the bottle down, and you got a bunch of dead soldiers on set. So that perceived sense of scarcity, people will actually finish their snacks, they'll finish their drinks, and you can consistently refill your crafty table throughout the day. Number eight is you're not just taking care of food. You also have to have utensils, plates. You have to have all the supplies necessary to eat. I was on set where the producer who was in charge of crafty, he completely forgot all these things. So we had this beautiful spread of food. I think it was a huge taco platter, all kinds of stuff, but nobody had a plate to put their tacos on. Nobody had utensils to eat their rice. So don't forget, it's not just food, it's all the supplies that you need to make sure everybody can eat. Final tip is keep it clean. So kind of clean as you go. Time is money, and usually you have your set for 8 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, and if you wait till the end of the day to clean up everything, you might go overtime. Your PAs might go overtime. So what I recommend is as you go, make sure you're cleaning the set up so that way at the end of the day, wheels out on time. And here's a bonus tip. Don't do pizza. It's not gonna work out. As soon as you see a set where your actual meal is pizza, I'm telling you, everybody's gonna be like, oh God, this isn't a real set. This is terrible. I'm grumpy. Nobody's gonna have a good time if you get pizza. So when you're thinking about your crafty budget, you can spread it out a whole bunch of different ways. Just stay away from pizza.